Hey folks, fWhip here, and welcome to my hardcore Minecraft world. Currently, we have over 7,400 days survived in this world, and in that time, we have managed to build a lot of really cool things in every dimension, and now a world spanning over 4,000 blocks wide, fully connected with villages, towns, and cities. Today, we're continuing to expand the harbor in the capital city of Path, with a ton of new city buildings while trying to create a very lively atmosphere. Now, I did just release a new world download for channel members tier 1 and up, so if you've ever wanted to explore this world for yourself, consider becoming a member to support the channel, and then definitely send me screenshots of you in front of your favorite builds that I've made. Now click that like button on this episode if you want to see more city building, subscribe if you're new, and let's build. Before we make any new city buildings, I want to first fix up the river. Okay, maybe not all of it, but at least the section here butting up against the harbor wall. That mess, that can stay for now. Look at all these salmon. Oh, there's so many down here. I know for the base of the river, I want to use a lot of mud. We don't have too much. We'll see how far that gets us. And then I was thinking we can also use muddy mangrove roots. I also really love the green patch that we have over there. So I do want some more shallow sections of the river to kind of continue that. But the general idea is that the river needs to look like it's been dredged low enough by people maybe manually working down here that ships could easily move throughout it. Maybe down on this side, since we have the bridge there and a boat can't really get beyond that, but yeah, at least on the other side. We're definitely gonna need a lot more mud, but something like that should be pretty good. We just need to kind of shape it down and across, and then definitely this section needs to be brought down another one. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need more mud, but so far I do like this. I've got the idea and I just gotta place a lot of mud. Getting into the work, I first started by designing a river rock out of mossy cobble and tuff to accompany the mud. With all of the mud and muddy mangrove roots I had on hand already in storage, I was able to finish out a good chunk of the river. Well, at least the entire space behind the bridge for now that doesn't really go anywhere, as this is my test region. With seagrass and kelp added in, I really love the effect. But I did run out of mud, however, so I stopped in the nether to repair my wings and shovel before heading out to the swamp. Flying out beyond new papyrus and back into the mangrove swamp, I continued tearing out the mud from underneath the canopy of trees and filled up another 3 shulkers of mud to bring back home for the river. And I'm now realizing just how large of a space this is and how much longer it takes having to do all of this underwater. But we're making some pretty good progress, as I want to at least get the mud along the front of our new harbor so we can see what it'll look like eventually. I know I still have a lot of terraforming to do on the river itself, but the way I can tackle a project and not get overwhelmed or burned out is by focusing on a little section at a time and doing my best on that part of it. So sweeping down the city side of the river, I added in a bunch more mud leading up to the canal exit. And from a distance, this river is looking so much deeper now, at least where all of the mud is. I didn't lower the terrain much at all, and that is looking good. I am really happy with how this is all coming together so far. We still have a lot to go, but I'm happy with the first result. I haven't added in any of the seagrass or kelp or anything along here, or any of the fallen logs or mangrove roots like I've been doing on that side, as I kind of want to wait to figure out what's going to go on here first. I'm down to a shulker and a half of mud remaining, so we've been able to get pretty far on it, and we'll definitely use some more in building today, so who knows how long this will last. But I also want to come back along here and work our mud going up. I'm definitely going to flood everything underneath, and oh no, I'm ruining it all. There we go, all the way up to the waterfall now, which is looking pretty good. But I was just thinking, with the water rushing sounds in here that we have, I might have mentioned this before, but I want to have that along this entire stretch as well. So let's grab some of the extra stone that I gathered up and dive down underneath our harbor. Ooh, not back there though. Now let's see, if I do a water bucket here, and then we start slowly inching this out, that will cause all of the water to flow, and we can just kind of send it along the edge. And then for these sections where it's already kind of higher up, we can probably just flood them and it'll send even farther. It is pretty natural to just hear the river sounds everywhere you're going along the front of a harbor, so we'll just send it all the way along. I guess this is also kind of helping to mob-proof the area, so look at me! Oh, I'm doing good things. Right, that is all the way down to the bridge now, and I think that's a pretty good testing point. Okay, it's a little noisy, but I'm gonna leave it and see if I actually like it for now, because I won't be always walking along here. But I think for an ambient sound, just to make you really feel like you're along the water, this could work. Also makes you have to pee, but you know, makes you feel like you're along the river, so that's cool. Let's move on to the first building today, as I want to build a big old tavern right here and then a harbor master's house over here, and we might be able to squeeze in a small garden along the back. First up, as usual though, I need to go pick up some blocks. Starting off in the lumber mill, as I think a bulk of the materials I'm going to be using will be coming from here to help frame out the buildings and work in all of the different floors and roofing elements. Since the harbor is outside the gate, I thought it'd be fun to add in some extra color, so I grabbed some sand and gravel to take over to color storage, where I'm crafting down a bunch of different types of concrete powders and turning some of them into concrete using water so that we can have both textures to build with. Then of course a trip down into the quarry to visit all of my boxes of stones to pull out terracottas, bricks, tufts, and you name it, we got it. One last item remains, and I need to head out to the coral reef, as I want to use a lot of dead corals more often in my builds to texture with, as I think it goes great with tufts. So I figured we can spend a good 30 minutes or so out here gathering some. And here we go. That should hopefully be enough dead coral, and I couldn't help but collect all of the big ones that I was breaking down too. Finally, time to get building with all of these boxes. At the base here, I want to go with darker grays, so I'm thinking some mud, gray concrete, gray wool, and gray concrete powder for the highlighty bit. And we can kind of just pillar it up into here. I'm thinking the doorway will be right down there, and then we can bring it around and probably start to shape out some spaces where we'll have like oak logs sticking out or something to start the second layer. Okay, something like that isn't too bad in here. And then I was thinking for the windows, we just use our grates. I think a rule that I'm going to be starting in here is anytime that I'm making something on a ground level, no, that's not a trapdoor, I want to use the grates for our windows instead of putting glass or scaffolding down here. I feel like with the stone around it, we need something that just feels a little bit more solid. I don't know how true or realistic that'll be, but I think I'm gonna give it a shot. Right, so our building is going to be about this tall, but I want to actually tear out everything here and send the building going down. Not me though. I don't want to go down. Let's continue the mud brick that we have coming back into here to like this point. Get some stairs that'll step down 2 levels here, and then underneath I can put that in, come back in the front door. And I was thinking dead tube coral and cobblestone could make a cool floor texture in here. That'll do it for now before we add any details. I did put a back door here that I wanted to go out into the garden. For now, it's just gonna exit out into this. With that done, I threw on the rest of the gray first floor and got ready to go up, with a new staircase leading up to the second floor for the patrons to go directly into their rooms without needing to go through the tavern below. We do need some walls and to keep it grayscale, but change it up. I'm going back to the white and light gray I used on the dog brewery a few episodes back. Stacked up to a single point, I threw on a roof using different blackstone types to add a little bit more texture, and then some sandstone and stripped logs for the chimneys, where we have one of those chimneys brought all the way down here to the base floor, and then the second one just stops right here. Eventually I'll get a staircase so we can get up to that third floor too once we're working on all the interiors. Speaking of little details like that, I added in this small little garden here at the front that I love a bunch. And then I saw this detail while scrolling Pinterest recently of using a moss block, glowberry on the bottom, and a tall grass on top up there to be a plant potter. And then I threw some of the glow lichen around it too, just to give it almost like a, like it has a little bit like a trellis, I think that would be called. Something on it. Detail bit, green bushy thing, good. From the back here, that is how big the building is when you're walking out of the gatehouse. And I like that we can still see the sky above it and kind of will get the view of the harbor throughout here. And I've actually already built a chimney for the neighboring house, which is going to be for a harbor master right in here. Now this is going to be a little bit different as we're using a lot of our coral in here, a little cobble and a little andesite. And then once we get up to this layer, I want to bring in our chiseled tuff and our chiseled tuff bricks and alternate these along because it creates a pretty cool effect. Also raising our floor up here by a single stone block, which will then come inside and be the whole floor inside this place. So we can start with the front like this, and then I'm thinking the wooden section will come down here. But for this guy over here, I want to extend our stone section to be 2 stories tall for a little variety. To partially cover this smaller side street here, I want to take some of our spruce slabs and run them across like so. I've already got these chains in place as some markers, and then I want to bring the slabs down another like this, take some of our levers and connect that back into the chain for a little awning. There we go, that looks good. We've got some base stuff around to kind of fill it for now, but I'll probably detail this out more once we have that house and just see what the vibe is. Excuse me, we're closed for construction. Speaking of construction, let's grab our yellow wool, concrete and terracottas, dark oak signs, stripped dark oak logs, and the mangrove logs. As I've been really wanting to try this out for a while, but the strip logs and the mangrove actually blends together pretty well. And then we can use our yellows in here just for some fun vibes. And along the bottom for some extra supports, we'll bring in a few of our signs. I mentioned wanting to use more color in here, and this is our first big splotch of color, and I think it's gonna be cool. The third floor is now added in with some windows going all the way up to the peak of the roof, where I want to work out of some full blocks to this one. I threw some jungle slabs down below just as a bit more support for the thing, and then we can keep working our way up throughout here. 1 to mob proof it, and 2 to make the moss blend in a little bit more. I'm throwing some glow lichen above all of those. And I think something like this is gonna look pretty good if I can figure out how to bring it all the way around. I'm really liking experimenting with not having the roof overhang and trying to add in those darker tones with like the unstripped dark oak wood up there. And I think it's looking really good. I also on the ends here, as you can see, added in the little dark oak buttons every other to kind of help continue that framing shape. And then of course we have our random splotch of packed mud and mud bricks in here just for some color variation in between all of our blackstone going into the tuff. I felt like I just need a little change right there. And along the back, we have a big old cherry leaf vine going up just to get a pop of color, but minus these mobs over here, I keep hearing mobs underneath. There's just so many of them. We'll deal with mob proofing this section later, but for now, yeah, that, oh, hi buddy. That, oh, there's the Enderman I keep hearing. I definitely need to get rid of these because otherwise we're gonna seal this in and it's gonna be so noisy. I'm Mr. Endymans. I think I'm gonna have to get rid of you here, sorry. I see where the mace could be useful. Yep. Definitely need to practice that a little bit more before I get a real one. So here in the back right over in this point, I'm thinking we just take a few azalea leaves, short grass, and ferns, and just kind of fill the space with a bunch of foliage. As we probably won't ever be walking back here, as it's not super accessible, and this way it can just kind of be a little fuller. Then for right over here, I was thinking we'd take some of our pink petals, maybe do something like that. I don't know. Dark oak saplings for little bushes. And I've kind of remembered that warped roots can also work as some grass, so we'll add a few of those back here just for the fun color. Heading back up to the top of the city, there's something that I wanted to look at before we get to the next build. And well, right over here, I started kind of just building shrines into the walls of things. I haven't really done it too much. And then I remembered about it and I was like, wait, I kind of loved that I was doing that. So we have this one right here, and I thought we could just carve another one right back into here. Maybe we take some stairs and hide those right in here. And then for our floor, let's just install some more tough brick. And then if we can try and match that up right here. I always hate glazed terracotta. No, that one goes up on top. And then this one right here, we have to unfortunately dig back there. Yes. And then in the middle, prismarine brick, prismarine, and put our glow lichen. Yeah. Get the flower because I can't help it. And then to give it a little bit more depth, we can throw some walls in here, bring them out to the sides so that we don't get the outside texture of the glazed terracotta. And I think I like it. That's a nice little shriny thing. Well, next we can clean up our bit of a shulker mess that we have sitting here on the corner, as I want to build a crane right here. And that was 3 shulker boxes fully cleared out. Well, one of them has been filled back up with a bunch of stuff. Let's grab our deep slate out for now, as I want this crane to look like it can rotate a little bit. Maybe not fully around, seeing as the building's right here behind it, but enough to pivot like at a 270-degree angle, I guess. Let's build out some spruce right here for a platform for the crane to go on. And then I was thinking the grindstones down this way to make it look like wheels that can turn and move it. The point we're gonna have to do a little bit of trust me, and also it's Minecraft, is how the wheels are gonna be turning. So I was thinking we just kind of put this out here for somebody to basically stand on top and turn them to move the thing. Now the wheels themselves are probably gonna be a little simple, so we're gonna do at a smaller scale with our chains coming out all 4 sides, and then at the end of the chain I'm just gonna put a trap door. Then flip some of our stairs up here. We've got more or less the smallest circle we can make in Minecraft. Now for the crane mechanism itself, I want to use a lot of walls. So we're gonna be working in with a little bit of our tuff here and spruce logs, and then the deep slate in there. Then using our brown stained glass panes, we can use this as a little bit of a trick to help our walls connect a little bit better. As you can see right there, then we have a connection point. I've added in a small brace here with our deep slate to kind of refortify it. And then we have this arching back up here, where unfortunately I did have to do full glass in there to get them all connected, but I think it's okay. From here though, we need to get a little bit of distance moving outwards. So instead of going up 1 at a time, let's start moving up by 2s. All the way out to here is kind of over the water, so it won't interrupt any boats that we might build in the area. And then for the way for the chains to move, I'm just kind of using these, seeing as we can make it look like a chain is being fed into there. Then I want to connect this all the way back over. Let's take a look back at this thing from a distance. It's giving crane. It's giving mechanical crane, not bird crane. So that's pretty good. I like it. I think this is gonna work. Let's extend it down to here so it has a platform to situate it better. So if we can go off of the middle and then create a good little 3x3 platform that I feel like I always use this one when I'm trying to symbolize a crane, because I haven't found anything else better. Then to give it some extra support, seeing as we're not gonna fill it with stuff currently, let's do this. Make it look like the rails are holding it up from the sides, and then grab the chain and extend that coming down. Yeah, I like that a lot. That's looking really good. That's definitely fitting the scale we need here in the harbor. With the first crane in place, I went on with adding in 2 more spots throughout the harbor, since we're gonna need a lot of them to move all of the goods around. Maybe I should have rotated one of the cranes, but once we have more buildings coming all the way down here, I think it's gonna be fine. To help complete the walk up to the main gate, next I want to figure out what the heck we're gonna do with here, and I think I've got an idea. I just need to tear out a good chunk of this to flatten it down. We can also bring the deep slate down and just kind of connect that into here and send those on the different sides, and maybe that'll come down another one. I'm actually okay with keeping a few of our grass blocks in here, and then maybe we level it off in here and bring some more of our road pattern over to this side. All right, I feel like I've got a pretty decent... Aw, why aren't you... Come on, connect, make a water source. Fine. But I've got a pretty good start up here. I've leveled this off and I need to go get 2 more. Why aren't they connecting? Okay, much better. There we go. Now, okay, fine. Also wanted to add some stone benches, and we're gonna build a small statue for a shrine right over there. And maybe it's just a little decorated, and we got that spot too. Trying to make this look like something older and that's built to last the time, hence the stone benches instead of something more wooden. But over in here, I brought a good amount of sandstone stuff with me, and I want to create a small like soldier hanging out right here that'll probably be that tall. And then maybe for some shoulders, we can do that, and these big old guys in there. And then we can make it look like he's kind of holding a sword. It's very boxy, but I think I like it. Now I was thinking for almost like a shawl along the back, we could bring in some of our vines, and then to stop them growing in the middle, let's do some string. And so we can have a nice little hat. We can do that. Then in front, as if people are lighting candles for good luck before going into the city, we've got some there that we can definitely turn on as it's getting to be nighttime. And I like that. And ooh, I've got an idea for right up there. Hold please. I need nautilus shells. Hello, my beautiful drowned copper farm. We should have a decent amount of Nautilus shells in here. Yeah, that's, we'll just take them all home because we'll definitely be using them. I love working with conduits, and I think it's finally time we start pulling them out as a building block. All right, back home, we have a Heart of the Sea and a lot of Nautilus shells. All right, well, those are extras. How does make again? It's that, yeah, conduit. Now, I believe these actually also give off some light. So yeah, they do. Oh, that's really, really cool looking. I love that. Maybe we throw on the corners here some torch flowers as well. Yeah, that's fun. Now walking up here, we can have this little shrine there, and then up at the top we have the small statue, which is looking really cool, and still the gatehouse is wide open to view everything. I guess except for like right here, some attackers could be hiding, but I feel like this is mostly for decoration here, so I think it's worth it. And then of course we have the shrine where people can toss a coin to their fWhipper and throw it into the fountain, and then they can wander off into the city, or they can light their candle and then also have a place to just look out over the harbor. I'm gonna keep saying this, but this city project is something I have loved building so much. And now with the first harbor buildings in, I love it even more. It would honestly be so cool to one day just have a ton of players running around here and filling up the city. Maybe that's something I can do after I finish this, if that ever happens. But what I can do for now is to jump on with gathering materials for the next set of buildings. So I jumped out into the lumber mill to chop, strip, craft, and collect so many different types of wood materials for these next buildings, as we're working towards 4 new buildings in a row. From the lumber mill, we're headed down into the mines for a little block breaking action, as I'm churning through the tough and deep slate blocks I have, because they're just so much more fun to work with right now than boring old cobble and stone that we've had for 15 years. But man, these are a lot more time consuming to gather. Now, I'm not only using those stone materials, I swear. I next stopped in stone storage to craft up and gather a bunch of different blocks we can use for more texturing with terracottas, netherrack, and some basalt mixed in for fun. I've been putting off this next one for quite a while, but I flew up north, right into the spruce forest, as yet again, I need well over 100 spruce trapdoors, let alone all the other spruce materials. So I decided to just hang out in what was a forest and chop down a ton more trees here. But that does bring us up to here. With all of these different blocks, I need an absolute mess of shulker boxes. And we might as well add a little bit more over here. Yep, that's looking great. And at this point, I'm very much in the phase of wanting to build and not really talk too much. So I decided to just go for it and work on these next builds, with the first here being a fishmonger shop. Next to that, we have a smaller building that was crammed in between that is going to be a general store, selling all of the basics and a little bit of everything that you might need but probably don't at all. Moving along again, this building is going to be a large cafe, potentially with cats. Let me know what you think about that. Lastly, here on this stretch, we have a big storage building coming in. This is a harbor after all, so a lot of goods are going to be moved off of ships and they need a space to go until they move farther. So I anticipate having a lot of different storage buildings scattered around. That right there was just 2 hours of straight building, but dang, it's looking good. And it's time for a quick little walkthrough because we did a lot. We have cleared out 6 shulker boxes worth of junk. The interiors are still ready to be filled with stuff. And then after the fact, I did add this little cart in here and the lift so we could get things to the 2nd floor of the storage building. Outside of that, I've intentionally tried making this area feel a lot more worn down. Being outside the city walls, I figured that these buildings wouldn't be as looked after as like the buildings we have on the inside. I am still trying to continue along with the idea that we don't have overhangs. I'm not too sure how I'm feeling about it on this guy, but for the rest of the buildings, I'm kind of liking it on the fronts. I think it's a fun building challenge to use the texturing to give it that depth instead of just having the block coming forward. On top of that, I have been working on adding in a few market stalls or just kind of trade stalls along the streets where they're selling a bunch of goods. We have leftover microblocks from when I used to have a wandering trader data pack that would allow me to buy them from them. So we've got a few of those in there. But my idea with this street here is that this is kind of the main road in and out of the city on the harbor side. So everything that's popping out up in here has to be something that can be easily picked up and moved out of the way if a bunch of guards are coming through and being like, hey, big wagons coming on their way, get out of here. So I'm trying to keep that idea of kind of telling the story that this is very much used for trade and a very busy street, but still can also be turned into something that can be a quick transportation route. With our fishmonger building right here, we also do have a little outdoor workstation, which I love, where they can clean all of the fish before coming over here and just throwing it in until people purchase it. And then the back of the general store, we have some blueberries with our coral that has a waterlogged mangrove root underneath it, then some carrots and just plants and stuff because I can't help myself. But what I can do to help myself out is to plant another field. Today we're going with another forgotten plant of Minecraft. I want to plant a new beetroot field near the dog brewery. I always love the look of this crop, but it's not super useful or really that easy to obtain a lot of seeds for more. But what is easy to do is to click the like button below the video and click that subscribe button while you're down there if you haven't already. Absolutely free to do, and I really appreciate all your support as we continue through this hardcore Minecraft world. 7,372 days into this world, and our 71st field sitting right out here. I am really looking forward to coming back to this farming region and fleshing it out some more, but man, we gotta place some dirt first. Also, that view, once we remove this mountain so you can see the city from here, it's gonna be gorgeous. We have 2 more buildings to add on the left side. I want to build a stable here with a little paddock out back, and then another storage room right in this square. Outside of that though, I'd like to dig out a cave back here as a cold storage room. Caves or underground areas were commonly used to store foods or goods that would spoil in the heat. As this is under the cold stone, the area naturally will stay a little cooler and keeps the food edible for longer. I thought it could be fun to have multiple layers in here, so this one's gonna step down. We need to bring it down as soon as we get in the door anyways, because I like the idea that it moves downwards. We'll fix up the ceiling as we go. The whole floor, I'm thinking, is going to be largely like packed mud and mud brick coming in, and then we'll move into some dirts. It's going to be really fun figuring out how to light this area up soon to make it spawn proof, but also kind of fit the vibe of being in a cave, you know? Let's see, do I have any acacia left over in the mess here? Of course not. Of course there's, I used them all. I was going to say with the acacia, we can kind of pillar them up right along here and make it look a little bit like the rock formation is why there's 2 levels. That kind of works for now. Then we will be going matching what we have on the outside with a lot of our basalt in here, except to be able to get some slabs and things, I want to move into a little bit of our deep slate too to help kind of break these shapes up even further. There we go. That's looking like a pretty good entrance coming in, but I should probably get back to doing the floor that I was working on originally. I'm really trying to make sure that this cave isn't just a weird flat space and can also be something that we will use for actual storage. Maybe not my stuff, but like stuff the city would be using. And since we are lower down, I figure rain's probably gonna seep into here, so let's make a very damp spot right over in this point that we can just fill with a ton of our muddy mangrove roots. This is looking much better all decorated out. I want this to seem like a lot of different things are placed inside of the cave, and a little like the people living here have reinforced the structure as it's become something very useful, so they want to preserve it. I think I've just about wrapped up, and everything in here has been double checked for being spawn proof. Even though it is pretty dark inside the cave, I wanted to keep just soul lanterns in here as I felt that that was a little bit more fun. And honestly, I might be able to get rid of this middle one. Yeah, you know what? It looks like everything still is mob proof. Oh, sweet. I didn't realize I put 3 down right in there. We don't need all of them. So maybe that one instead of this guy though. The only risk for spawnable spaces I had was this is down at light level 1 on this block right there. And that's 0, but it's a slab, so it's spawn proofed. I used a little trick to use boats and put some crops growing out of the ground, so it looks like we have a bushel of hay and a bunch of carrots placed inside of these as if they're being carried around, and I'm trying to get them to fit a little bit better. It's perfect. Don't touch it, and I'm sure soon there's going to be a creeper sitting in either of those. Right, I'm really happy I took the time to make that, but as you can see, my wings down here, they're pretty busted, so before we build the rest of the stuff, I gotta go fix them up. Which means it's time for a quick trip down into the Wither Skeleton Farm. With its newly improved and upgraded storage room, oh, I'm so proud of myself. Right, I was leaving and I saw another gas spawning out over here, so I'm just clearing out a little bit more of the nether hub. I gotta really figure out what to do here, but yeah, I don't want any gas to explode the new stuff that we just built. All right, if I can finish this line, that'll be 3 blocks farther back in the middle here, and okay, we're fine. But I'm gonna just keep watching this while I'm in here, and if more gas like that dude spawn in, then we just keep clearing more terrain. All right, one more big round of resource gathering are ready to go. Now, these projects take so many different materials to throw together, and I'm really thankful I'm a bit of a hoarder as a Minecraft player, as I keep literally everything that I can if I have space for it. So I was able to craft down everything I needed from lumber storage. I do need a place to store all of my copper soon, though, as that hoarding thing's starting to bite me in the butt, as we have a ton of it from clearing out the trial chamber, and it's still all just kind of crammed into my starter base. Easy to grab, but it's taking a lot of space. And there goes the last of the stone materials I should be needing, and our last shulker monster is now assembled right over here. I'm just kidding, it's definitely not the last one. It's the last one for like these builds though. No, it's still probably not. Oh man, I'm starting to plot this out a little bit of a big course dirt area over here with 2 entrances, and we'll have some stalls, and this can be where the stable keeper stays. And then over here, I want to get rid of all of this grass and just replace it with dirt like it was supposed to be before it all grew back over the top. Out in the back, we're gonna have a small paddock area that I think is gonna be really cool in here, where we can just hide a few animals. They'll be kind of covered underneath the rocks, and then it's more mob proof since we have all of the path blocks in here. Now for the entrance to the stable, I think that 2 wide idea that I had is gonna work out pretty well here, because I'm pretty sure a horse can squeeze through these. And I want to go pretty simple and stay within the brown pallets here, so we're bringing a lot of our spruce and oak. Then for the actual entryways, let's bring some of our stairs down, and then we just flip up a few trapdoors. That looks somewhat horseable. We're just gonna run with it. I don't want this to be too tall because I want to be able to see the gatehouse up there. So maybe from here we do a flatter roof going across, so we can kind of symbolize the start of that with our fence gates underneath as a bit more support. And then you round here, and then you get that wow view of the gate. I do want some greenery in here though. To accompany the wooden stables, I'm going with dead coral, mossy cobble, and cobble, and a little tough for a stone living quarter. We'll decorate more in the future, but I'm really liking how this is filling in the space leading up to the gate. Oh man, that view as soon as you get through here and see the top of that, oh, I love it. The neighboring build already has the floor and the base on top of it, and I'd like to extend up using some bricks, granite, and light gray terracotta. Then going up from here, we can expand some of our spruce slabs and trap doors to take ourselves all the way across. For a baseline on the second floor, I'm thinking we can use our beehives as well as our oak planks. And for the rest of the front face, we have our strip logs with jungle oak and a little spruce for the shadow, as well as a few windows and our jungle leaves underneath. It's a little messy, so let's throw on the back walls and roof to hopefully even it out. Stupid zombies over here attacking me in my city. Oh man, there were some down there a moment ago. They've disappeared. Oh no, they're gonna get me. I've got to really figure out how to light all this place up. I threw some glow lichen in here just for now to keep them spawning farther that way, but oh, I need a better solution. This here, however, is looking fantastic, and I was thinking just for now, since I don't have an interior on it, we can make it look like there's an interior and just cover this up. Yeah, definitely worth it. Definitely so worth it. Oh, I am loving this street. Walking through here right now, to more rotten flesh? Are you kidding me? But I need to find some more details and things to throw back in this space. And part of me really wants to put a tree right here. Maybe just like a skinny little one. I'm gonna think on that for a minute here. Well, I ponder the tree idea. Let's bring back some noble steeds to put inside the stables, as I just want the ambience of the horse sounds and them clip-clopping around in there. I think it's gonna be really cool for the vibe. Yeah, I'm not used to not riding out on a max speed horse. I kind of forgot how slow these guys are. Okay, dropping off the first boy, and yes, they can make it inside. And ooh, this is kind of a tiny stall for you. I'm sorry, dude. Yeah, you're just here for the night. Oh, how'd you get up there? Right, here goes number 2, and we'll just toss them in here. We don't want to fill up everything. We want to make it look like we have more space for other animals to come and stay. I would love to find a donkey. I thought they just had a random chance to spawn, Oh, there's 3 horses on the mountain though. Nope, quick look for a donkey. Not a single donkey nearby. All right, back to the horses. No, 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 not in the powder. This horse is trying to kill me. Sorry, buddy, you're going out here into the back. How? How are you doing that? How are you climbing? You did it again. No, you're doing it too. What is going on here? How are horses jumping over this? That is it. He did it. Did something change in the game? I built stables like this for years. How is this breaking? What is going on? No, don't spin. I'm getting out of here. No, I'm not letting these stupid Minecraft horses win this one. We're gonna do it. We're gonna put that right there as if he's got like a little place for some food. He's got his little hayloft. Same with you and you. No, no. Okay, yep. Right. Yeah, we're gonna put you in here. Yeah, suckers. Not gonna let any stupid Minecraft horses beat me. Now you're all stuck in your little stalls. That's what they get for styling on me. All right, there we go. And this guy gets some iron horse armor too. Oh, but we don't want to fall in that. That horse armor is not gonna save him from that. Oh, the city's looking, sorry, buddy. City's looking so good though. All right, there we go. 2 out back and then the 3 tricksters stuck in their little stalls. Horses aside, I did decide on building up a small tree in the corner. Outside of that, we need a few more decorations in the street area here. So I set up a few more carts, a few random working tables, and piles of stuff around to just generally fill up the space to continue along with that full of life vibe that we're going for. And then I got distracted and jumped around just building pretty much whatever else I could think of. The main street is looking pretty full of life now, and I don't want this to be too crowded. It's a hard balance to find, so my general idea is that we're going to be keeping the center fairly open. I don't really want to build any massive carts like going through here that'll make it physically hard for me as the player to walk through. Now back this way near our storage cave that we've been building, I want to create a workstation on this grassy area, but I don't really know quite what to do here yet. If you have any ideas, let me know. Outside of that though, I thought maybe we could tie that into a building right here so it has its own backyard working area, maybe stretching along all of these spots. I guess we already have a road plan to come through there. So many choices. I think this cart as an example is fine here because it's still very open in this section, but if we had a wall and a wall for 2 buildings, then it would be like, oh, that's not easy to walk through. Now the waterway over here that I started working on, I really like the small drip leaf, our azalea bushes, and the grass kind of reaching up into the mud. I love the lushness that it's giving. I actually wanted some large drip leaf too. Maybe I have a few in here. I have 1. That's great. Put you down on the grass there and we can make a lot more. That's definitely going to be something on the list of farms to build in the future. But we can just dot a few of them in throughout here and that'll be pretty good. I'm also not a huge fan of how flat this wall is here. So I was thinking we could come along the bottom, get rid of a little bit of the mud that we put down here and pillar up some tough bricks. Maybe this layer we bring it in with some slabs and finish waterlogging it, and then we take this up farther. You know what? I think that's pretty much everything we need there. Or another idea, a little rickety little tiny dock down here. Now that'll do. As we're working along the water here already, I had an idea for the far side of the river over here. Taking the same idea as the muddy river base from earlier, I'm leveling it up for now as I want to create a shallow patch of mud that larger boats will have to avoid and stick to the main channel, but we'll have a small space for smaller boats to sneak through and access the side locals harbor we'll create later. So I used to really hate putting leaves in water as they didn't waterlog when we started this world. So I used to decorate all of my river edges kind of like this with that harsh line. But now I feel like I've discovered a new way to build in Minecraft with waterlogging these leaves like we've been doing. And oh my gosh, I love it so much. I tried to create like a crescent moon shape throughout here, at least on this. And it kind of came out looking more like a grapefruit or a banana or like a teardrop or something. I don't know, but it looks cool. So we got this little opening right in here for boats to slide on through. And we'll still have the channel carved out here so the larger boats can head this way, which will actually force them closer to the fortress that we'll build up here. And I need to probably carve this mountain back a teeny tiny bit, we'll figure it out when we get there, because it needs to be wide enough for two fairly large boats to be able to slide by next to each other. But maybe this is just like the skinny point of only one can go in and out so that it can block it easily. Huh? Defensive reasons to not do extra work. Yeah, that's the lore of the world. That's the lore I create here. If it means I don't have to do anything, great lore. But mixed in here, we have our little cattails. We have almost all of the small drip leaf I had in my name. We have grass, we have ferns, we have azalea leaves, a large drip leaf, lily pads, and mud and muddy mangrove roots down below. And eventually we will carve this entire area out and continue the mud across. I did break into that massive underground cavern too, which is kind of funny to see all that down here. I keep forgetting it's here. I'll tell you what though, I have been doing so much building inside this world. We're actually up to day 7,410 right now, and this one started pretty close to like 7,300 something, like 20. So we're almost like 100 days of building into this, and I love the look of this, but my brain is turned into mush. But what also I want to turn into mush is this mountain. Yeah, I want to start tearing it down. Okay, we're gonna get to it. Let's go get a beacon. There we go. The mountain is ready to disappear. Well, part of it. I decided to throw 2.5 hours on the clock and see how much digging I could do in that time, with the goal to get below the snow layers so I don't have to worry about picking those up anymore, mainly to prepare for a massive change to this world with the removal of the mountain. Between clips of starting the mountain teardown, I competed in the official Minecraft Ender Cup tournament and casually popped off and destroyed the other team in dodgeball. Kidding here. My entire team was awesome and we won it together, but I'm pretty proud of my performance there. Nice!
Yes!
Let's go!
Yes!
Let's go!
Oh my gosh!
Let's go, baby! That's right. You're looking at the winner of the Minecraft Olympics. No, MC. Official Minecraft MCC, which means I'm officially one of the best Minecraft players of all time. Oh, yeah. And now, before my ego gets too big, the mountain is getting smaller, and we can actually start to see the city over the top of it, which is fantastic. I have already mined a little over 80,000 blocks off the top, which has filled up all of these shulker boxes, and a bunch of stuff is despawned on top of that, and a lot of broken tools. For reference here, with a little bit of free cam, we're currently up there, and I want to bring us down to about here. So we still got a lot of digging to do. But I'm done digging today. That was a lot of digging. But before I forget here, I want to fix up all my tools again to get ready for the next round. And there we go, all fixed up on most of them. And back home, just as the sun is rising. Ooh, I love this view. Especially as we can see the sun coming over and lighting up the brand new buildings within the harbor. Oh, I am so excited to get this project moving forward, and I am so very happy with what we've been able to accomplish today. Thank you all so very much for watching. Hope you did enjoy. Leave a like down below if you have not already. Subscribe if you're brand new, my friends. And with that, do we keep expanding the harbor, or what the heck else do we do right now? But also, I'll catch y'all on the fWhip side. Just gonna hang out right back here on this nice little bench.